Ketogenic diet. Who's done a ketogenic diet? Yeah, not for long. For any particular reason, just didn't like it, just didn't want to follow it, like wasn't kind of for you, or? Typical ketogenic diet is like super low in carbs, super high in fat, protein at about 20%. There are like modified versions of it, higher protein. There's methods and ways to use ketones for fuel with a higher protein diet and all that kind of stuff, but we'll just go with like the typical version. So we've got potential benefits here. So they use it for treating like brain conditions like Alzheimer's and people who like have seizures as well, and they actually get some pretty good outcomes with that. So that's pretty positive. So there's like these neuroprotective benefits that they say. Potential improvement in cognition and mental focus. So I don't know if it's like someone's way of.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, I didn't either. So I don't know if that's like just a dogma that someone's trying to say that they get, which is the reason why they do it, because their bias has just gone that far they can't come back from it.
So I didn't do it for long enough. When you did it, what were your carbs?
That would have been under 40 grams a day.
Yeah, if you go to 20 grams, you probably get that.
Yeah, okay, so it's just in that middle ground kind of thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, because if you don't get the sweet spot right, you just get this fog, and fuck, it's awful. It's just like, just this non-mental clarity all day. It's actually not very nice.
Would that just be fibrous carbs?
So maybe if you got the sweet spot right, then you would get those reported improvements in cognition and mental focus that a lot of people report. And then, yeah, there is a lot of people that say that they can just be in this low energy state and they don't feel hungry and they sing Kumbaya and they wake up the next day and they're happy to eat their low energy diet again. Not sure if you want to try it out. Let me know. Moving on to the weaknesses. I'll just roll out my list of weaknesses that hits the wall over there. No, I'm kidding. The cognitive benefits aren't from all those neurotransmitter formulas that we've got there. Or the nootropic formula that I take every day. It's the ketogenic diet. Weaknesses though, so it excludes a major food group. So if we exclude a major food group, just consider that we're just bringing the walls in. Most of the time when we start to restrict things, there's just that resistance to comply to that. So we need to consider personal preference, because compliance is obviously the biggest driver of the success of a diet. Obviously, the jury's still out when we look at the use of a ketogenic diet from a performance perspective, because if we understand the way our body would like to fuel itself for intense, vigorous exercise, then your carbohydrates are going to be the number one fuel source. So they haven't really kind of gotten to the point where we can create enough evidence to go, yeah, we can use them. They do use them for, they use like high fat sparingly and like prep for like marathon runners and stuff, but it's more just getting that metabolic flexibility where they can use fat for a certain part of the race, then they can switch to glucose and they kind of fuel their bodies the way they need to obviously have enough substrate to get through the whole event. That's why they also have, it'd be wise for them to have some body fat on them too, so that they have just pockets of energy for them to support their activity, so when they can't fuel themselves with actual food. Has not shown to be superior improvements in body composition when protein and calories have been equated. So the people that start to advocate the ketogenic diet is the only way to do that, and they've got their 30-day fucking ketogenic program or something like that, they're just selling an outcome for you with a method. It's not the only way. So you guys can do it, but it's just like not the be all and end all. We've spoken about the principles before. It's like energy in, energy out, get your macros right, choose the method that fits you best. Misinterpretation from an individual about the mechanisms behind the ketogenesis, I guess, is like you burn fat. So you burn the abundance of energy that is supplied to you. So if I only gave myself fat to use, my body would burn it, because that's all I've got to use, right? It doesn't take into consideration energy in, energy out. So it's just a really minute detail. It's like, oh yeah, do the keto diet because it burns fat. So we're supplying it with adequate amounts of fat, so it's going to use it. If we supplied it with adequate amounts of carbohydrates, it would use them too. So it's choose the fuel that you're going to fuel your body with. So just make sure we're aware of that too, just so you don't get caught into the buzzwords and the clickbait. So that's it, because technically they're not wrong. It's like you do burn fat, it's just not body fat, unless you're in a energy deficit over time. So yeah, everyone still with me on that? Good. So I'm not saying it's not, like I'm not against any of these diets, just don't like it when like we just push one diet. It's like there's lots. We just need to know when to use them.